Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back to the Uncle Sharma channel. Here we are back again for some Inter news. First of all, want to wish all any Muslim followers that had you. Hope you had a nice Eid this last couple of days ago, wasn't it? And everyone else, hope you've been having a nice time. But yeah, the world of Inter keeps going. This is pre-season, but it's hotting up now. The transfer window is starting to heat up. It's transfer window season when Auxilio, his lunch meetings are back. He's taking other sporting directors and presidents out for lunch and spending corporate money, Inter's corporate money. They're using the corporate credit card to eat out, get some wine, fill his belly, and try to work some special, or those trademark Beppe deals, those Auxilio deals. Trying to do his best with very little budget. Probably his lunch budget has probably been cut down as well from Steven Zhang back in China. Is probably telling him, no more desserts. Maybe you can only one drink per person. No meat dishes, only vegetarian dishes. Try to save money. Try to bring the least amount of people as possible. But yeah, how are you guys doing? Who's in the house? Who's in the house? We got Parmeshwar, my guy. What is good? Got Mohammed in the house as well. What's up, bro? But the first news, obviously, I gotta talk. You guys know my disdain, how much I despise this player, Dalberto Carlos. He's gone. I mean, I do this every year because it gets me happy, but he's not actually gone. Unlike Jean-Marie, who's actually gone for good. But Dalbert, he's gonna come back next year. But for this time, he's actually, for this year at least, he's gone. And Cagliari's statement to welcome Dalbert was quite interesting. These guys are hyping him up. Look at him; he's looking pretty happy. Yeah, good for him. It's a decent team, Cagliari, on loan with the option to buy, as it says here, prestito sino al 30 giugno with the option to buy. Yeah, they describe him here, and this is the interesting part. Veloce, esplosivo, tecnico. They describe him as so quick, explosive, and technical. Dalbert is a wing back. There's a left wing back that covers the whole side. He can be in the back four or in the back five. Good physique. Able in the going forward, great left foot for his crosses, good in his defensive phase as well. A versatile player with a great technical ability. I mean, what matches have these guys been watching? What these guys have probably been watching the compilations we watched when we signed the Dalbert back in what was it now, 2017. We signed him from Nice when he was left back of the year in Ligue 1. That time when we signed him. But yeah, man, this has been one of the biggest flops in Inter's history. And yeah, I mean, he looked awful against Lugano. I mean, even against bad opposition, where you think he was one of the few senior / experienced players in that lineup, and you think he'd stand out with all those youth players and random players that were playing in that team. But no, somehow he manages to look or even be the worst player on the pitch. He was at fault for I think was it the first goal where he got knocked off and he was looking for a foul, and just in general, just not a good player, man. I'm just happy to see the back of him. He's just that was Walter. I know a lot of people blame that one on Auxilio, but that was actually a Walter Sabatini signing. He's very specialized in that South American region, especially with Brazilians. I think he was the one who signed Emerson Palmieri for Roma, which worked out. But yeah, Dalbert is definitely not one of the good Sabatini deals. Auxilio only gets crackers for his lunch deals, no meat. Yeah, probably we're gonna have to keep an eye on his weight. If you start seeing Auxilio losing some weight, you know why. Yes, Dom in the house. We've lost a legend, yeah, a Nice legend. we just have bad luck with Darba. Trabzonspor wants to buy him, but he turned them down. Yeah, that's the thing with these guys as well, man. These guys have got high standards. It's like these teams, Trabzonspor, you know, a respectable team out in Turkey. You know, you can live a nice. I've seen footballers out in Turkey. You've got a nice wage and a nice salary in Turkey. You live in the life. But these guys, yeah, these guys got some high expectation. They think like they should be playing for Champions League clubs. I don't know. Saud in the house. Yeah, we'll speak about this, Saud. Don't worry. We'll speak about King Darian in the house. Yeah, let's cover this. Oh, actually, yeah, Palm, good point. Just before we go into everything, thank you everyone to subscribe. We've reached 2K. Been running this channel since year and a half now, maybe. So yes, it feels nice that, you know, it's getting to good numbers now. 2K. Made the push the other day. The last little push needed like 20, and yeah, you guys on Twitter came through, helped me out, got there to the special number, and hopefully, you know, we'll get by the end of this season. Hopefully, we get to 3K over the next season. I hope. We'll see. But yeah, appreciate all your help and support, and obviously, whenever you're in the stream, guys, it's the YouTube algorithm. You know, thumbs up really helps. It's just how the YouTube algorithm works. If you're there, if you're signed in, just leave a thumbs up, and it helps. If you're rewatching the stream, you know, when it's been recorded, just leave a comment and a thumbs up as well. It just helps with the algorithm, just to get the channel out there, and, you know, hope YouTube push it out a little bit more. But yeah, appreciate you all. Yeah, so let's get into the main news, which obviously we talked about in the last videos, that was unofficial, but it was 99% confirmed. SOCIOS. I'm not actually quite sure 100% how to say the name exactly. Do they say the kind of Italian Latin way, or is it the kind of more English way, whereas SOCIOS? So you might hear me saying it in a couple of different ways, because I haven't really decided which way is the correct way. Yeah, official has been released, and the kit obviously has caused a little bit of controversy. It's not exactly what we wanted, as I talked about in my video. I was hoping they would go for the minimal look. They would go for the, you know, just Inter. I knew that there was likely to be the $sign with something with the token name, but I don't feel like the fan token was really needed to be underneath Inter, like $sign Inter, and three lines with the socios.com at the bottom. You know, if it was just socios.com as well, that would have been great. I've seen some of the mock-ups that some people did, and socios.com on its own looks really good. A $sign Inter would have been really good. Or it's not Cinta, guys. If you say Cinta, I mean, if you see a $sign in front of something, you don't say, if you see a $sign in the number, you don't say S35 if it's $35. So I don't get it when people are saying Cinta. I mean, it doesn't look like Cinta to me. But yeah, and the lettering as well. I was hoping for it to be in gold, so it matches with the, you know, with the badge, and obviously the back lettering also. I was hoping for it to be in gold as well. But I think that's the Serie A rulings, that you're not allowed to have that, and I guess it makes life easier for referees, because in white there's a lot more contrast and it's easier to look at. But all in all, it's not that bad. I like it, and I'm definitely going to buy it. That was King Darian's question, and I'm definitely going to be spending some money into this. I know a lot of people are angry that they ordered it, and obviously Inter advertised it without the sponsor, and a lot of people are getting it with the sponsor, and Inter are not canceling orders from what I'm hearing, which is not good. That's not, you know, it's a little bit false advertising. So yeah, they dropped the ball a little bit there, Inter, in terms of the planning and the whole thing of it. But overall, I like it. I think it's a wavy kit. As I said in my previous video, to me, it's a 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10 kit. The sponsor look makes it a little bit crowded, takes it down a notch for me. Maybe takes it down maybe to an 8 out of 10, but still, it looks really good. I think the collar could have been nicer as well. It's a little bit plain, the collar and stuff, but yeah, I love it, man. The snake skin, the Bichone look. And yeah, by the way, guys, if you're on Twitter, make sure you take part in this giveaway by SOCIOS. They're doing, even if you don't like the kit, a free Inter kit. You know, it's not. I'm sure you're not going to reject the free Inter kit if someone gives it to you. So you follow SOCIOS, you comment $ Inter, you retweet, and hopefully you win a kit. I think they're doing it on Instagram as well. So make sure you guys take part in that. Yeah, what was your everyone's thoughts on the kit? Better or worse than the away kit? I don't know. We'll have to see the away kit, but the away kit to me, I think the away kit looks even nicer to me, in my opinion. It's kind of like, yeah, kind of this white. Obviously, we saw with the snake pattern around it, a little bit more minimal than this one. But yeah, I'm really liking the kits this year. To be honest, they're not traditional for sure. They're not traditional Inter. They don't respect the tradition or adhere to the colors, usually the color scheme. But I was playing football yesterday with some of my friends here in England, and these guys, and I don't even know most of these guys, but these English guys, they were like, "Oh, have you seen the new Inter?" They don't know that I'm Inter fan because I don't really play with these guys that much. But they were like, "Yo, you guys seen the new Inter kit? I'm definitely gonna buy it." The whole snake skin pattern, like, it's just Inter's branding has slightly changed over the last couple of years. We've seen, haven't we? The way Intermedia House are doing things, the videos, the style of the videos, the style of the branding, the streetwear kind of attire, and some of the merch that Inter are doing, a little bit more streetwear. The new badge we saw, everything is trying to be a little bit more youthful, a bit more streetwear, trying to grab the attention of a youthful audience. And yeah, I think it's clearly is working, because yeah, some of these, I've never heard people talking about Inter outside of actual footballing stuff, but these guys are talking about the Inter kit. Some people are seeing Inter videos being they're being pushed around on Facebook, Instagram, and stuff like that. So yeah, Inter are doing well with their marketing, and I work in the world of marketing in my day job, so I do really appreciate what they've been doing. So yeah, I'm a fan. I know not most of you are not that big of a fan, but yeah, Joy Barras. Why are you saying that? It's a random drop, but yeah, I'm a big Joy Barras fan. Got Justin in the house. Yeah, we've got some Raja news. That not particularly, there's not big developments, but there's some Raja news. Join Rufkin, it's like Netflix and YouTube, and then promote your channel and pay more money than YouTube. I'll check it out. I'm not sure. Never heard of it. Yeah, home kit for me now with the sponsor. As I said, I think it takes it down to like an 8.5. Otherwise, it would have been a solid 9.5 to me. I think the gold, everything, the gold lettering, the gold numbering, it would have been 10. Crazy how the non-Interisti, yeah, that's true. Non-Interisti, you could say a liking, but that's the thing, when you're a fan of a club and you've been supporting the club for a while, you hold on to these kind of the roots. It has to be black and blue, it has to be this, it has to be that, badge, this, that. But outsiders, they just look at it as like, they're not as attached to it, so for them, it's not such a big deal. Oh right, yeah, the Joey Barras as in the $. Yeah, good point. Yeah, and I've changed my Twitter name as well to Uncle Dollar Sharma. Yeah, it's drippy, bro. We're moving like a drippy Milan team. We're definitely drippier than AC Milan. Too much to complain, Franco says about the logo. It's okay. Yeah, there's definitely a lot less. Remember how people were talking about the logo a few months ago when it was released, but I've not heard much now. Like, it just takes time to get used to things. It's always the same thing. Like with the kits every year. Even that, you remember last season, the checkered kit. I was never a fan of that kit, and it's still not really, but it grew on me throughout the season. When I see the players wearing it, it just grows on you. That weird fourth kit they released at the end of the season, I still don't really like that. But when you see it on the pitch, it just kind of, you change your mind on it. But still, yeah, I still wouldn't buy that one. But yeah, you never know. It might grow on you. It might grow on you. We'll see. That's how it is with these things. It takes time. But yeah, let's get into the news that I wanted to cover with you guys. First of all, quick one is nothing major. Stefano Sensi, his agent today spoke to to FC Inter News, and he says that Stefano is staying in Milan. Not much more than that. Simple one. We know, ideally, because of his injury issues, maybe it's time to, cut since his time at Inter short. But the thing is, due to his injury issues, no one's really going to offer money. There's rumors of, Fiorentina being interested, but I don't think they're going to stop up the 15 or so million into one. It looks like he's going to be given another chance. And let's see, maybe with the departure of Antonio Pintus, the physical trainer that, used to drill Inter's players, he's now gone. So let's see, maybe Inzaghi's physical trainer can maybe work some more of a personalized plan where since he doesn't get injured. So let's see. And he also briefly spoke on the Pessina and Petagna rumors. But he said, speak to Piero Zilio. We don't know about that. I'm not really seeing them linked to Inter, so I'm not sure why they asked him about that. But there could be options that Inter look at. But I think this summer is going to be like most summers. The action is going to happen at the end of the windows. I think to the end of August, you guys will see Inter will be more active, because that's when the selling clubs get a little bit more desperate. They will be more open to some of the deals that Inter are trying to do, which are obviously loans with options to buy rather than obligations or outright transfers. Right now, most clubs are saying, don't come to us with these loan with options. But when it gets to, the end of the window, if a player wants to leave, clubs, they can't really keep a player against their wishes, or, pay the wages of a player they're not going to use. So usually there's more room to negotiate towards the end of a transfer window. And by then, Inter should have a little bit more wiggle room after we've actually managed to finally get rid of some of the departing players as well. And one of the departing players, obviously, we're going to talk about Raja Nainggolan, as Justin was asking. Nainggolan, his news is kind of related, but also not directly related to Nandez. So the only way now that Inter are going to get rid of Raja Nainggolan is by, cancelling his contract like we did with Jean Mario, so letting him leave on a free transfer. However, Raja is asking for a compensation fee to leave. So in Italian they call it a bonuscita, which is outrageous, to be fair. Like the amount of money this guy, we've been paying him, 4.5 million net. This guy earns, 9 million gross wages, and don't know how much we paid for him as well. And then he wants around 2 million euros to leave Inter. So Inter would save the 9 million, but they also have to pay this 2 million to Raja to make him leave, and they would have to incur a minus valenza onto the balance sheet. So they would, whatever the remaining value of Raja is on the Inter's books, which is around, it's less than 10 million, but I guess it's between 6 to 8 million residual value. So it's not a great deal for Inter, but they're just to finally get rid of him, they will have to do that. So they're negotiating on that fee with the Nainggolan. Apparently Inter don't want to go over the 1.2 million. And he's also having issues with Cagliari, who, trying to offer him around 2 million per year. I think he wants closer to 2.5 or 3 or something like that. So he's having trouble negotiating there as well, because obviously Cagliari can't guarantee those same salaries as Inter. So he has to basically, more than half his salary from Inter. So he just needs to take the L, man. This guy, it's like, just take the L, bro. It's time for you to just, you're not a top player anymore. You can't demand those types of salaries anymore. It's just time. It's time to accept it. But if the Cagliari deal doesn't work out, apparently Besiktas are interested still. I remember Besiktas were interested in him even a while back. But yeah, we'll see. I still think he's going to end up at Cagliari in this massive NANDEZ deal where, Dalbert and Nainggolan going the other way. There's also talk of Pinamonti. So Cagliari and Semplici, the Cagliari coach, apparently likes Pinamonti. Pinamonti is another high earner. He earns around 1.52 million thanks to Mino Raiola. Well done, Mino Raiola. Somehow you managed to negotiate a top player contract, or a good player contract for Pinamonti, who's never really done anything in his career. and now it's hard. And it gets hard to get rid of players like these because they're such high wages. But apparently, Cagliari will only bring him in if they manage to get rid of Giovanni Simeone. So we'll have to wait and see. But it looks like there will be some big movements between Inter and Cagliari. And honestly, Cagliari owes Inter. Let's be honest. Cagliari owes Inter. We've done so many favors for them over the last few years. Diego Godin, we let him go on a free. Nainggolan, we keep letting him go to them every year. Dalbert now. We do help out Cagliari in the moments of need. So now in our moments of need, Nahitan NANDEZ, we're trying, all the reports are indicating that he is the ideal candidate that Inter have chosen. As here on Sempre Inter it says, Inter currently prioritizing Nahitan NANDEZ over Zappacosta, Florenzi, Bellerin, all the other right wing back options. As I said in my previous video talking about NANDEZ, to me, he's still, in my mind, he's still a mezzala midfielder, but he played most of last season as a wing back. He played the Copa America as a right back in a 4. So maybe he has made that switch mentally, and he's decided that maybe that's his best position now. And honestly, I do prefer him. If we can afford him, I do prefer him over any of the other options. He's a lot more energetic, versatile. He's a lot more of a guarantee in terms of Serie A. Defensively, he's solid. He's a passion merchant. So I can guarantee Inter fans, you guys will like NANDEZ. If you haven't watched him play, you will like this guy. I can guarantee that one thing. He's gonna put in 100% effort. And most key, which you have seen, NANDEZ strongly wants Inter. Like he's in holiday in Uruguay at the moment, but I've read that he's called Giulini, the Cagliari president, and has specifically asked him to let him leave because he was signed as a big signing. So Barella, when Inter signed Barella, that same summer they signed NANDEZ. So he was, and that's why I also compare him to Barella as well, because they signed him as a Barella replacement, funnily enough. And it was quite expensive for Cagliari at the time. I think 17, 18 million. So Cagliari, I think he is Cagliari's record signing of all time. So that's why they're also kind of reluctant to let him go. But Cagliari was always supposed to be a stepping stone for him. And now he before the end of this season, he already talked with Cagliari and agreed that this was probably the year that he's going to be, let go to a bigger club. Inter have come in, and apparently he's a big fan. Not as a fan as in he's been a childhood Inter fan or anything, but as in like he wants to go to Inter. And we've seen with Barella, with the likes of Tonali, these kind of deals, when a player wants to come to play for you, it does make a big difference, and it puts pressure to the club. So Giulini, at the moment, as it says, talks yesterday between the two clubs regarding a move for the player are thought to be inconclusive. There's some distance remaining before an agreement could be reached, but the player's will could end up being the deciding factor in convincing the club to reach a deal with the Nerazzurri. Apparently, Cagliari won some money up front. Obviously, Inter trying to do the loan with option. But Cagliari want money up ahead or an obligation. But if it is going to be an option, they're going to try to make an expensive option. So similar to what Milan did with Tonali, which was like a 5-6 million loan fee with a 20-25 million redemption fee. So when you take such a heavy loan fee, it just makes sense to redeem the guy afterwards, because otherwise you just lost that 5-6 million plus the wages. It's just a bad decision if you don't take it in the end. But apparently they want 10 million up front. 10 million up front and then a redemption fee. So that's ridiculous. And obviously Inter are nowhere near offering that kind of a fee up front. But as I said, I think the other deals in between, like the Nainggolan, like the Pinamonti deal, if there's something in there, can kind of soften the deal. NANDEZ, his desire can definitely, move the deal. Marotta is going to play it slow. I don't think this deal is going to be done quickly, as he said himself. I think this is another deal that we'll probably keep hearing about for a few weeks, and it'll give us a headache. It'll be like NANDEZ, this, Inter getting close, and then Inter getting far. Inter, negotiations are broken down. So we're going to have to be patient in this one. But it looks like Inzaghi wants him, Marotta, Ozilio want him, Nandez wants Inter. So I think in the end, the deal might happen. But yeah, it's not going to be. It's not going to be an easy one. Which jersey am I wearing, Adriano? No, this one is. This is. I don't get names usually at the back. The only kit I have a name on is Ronaldo 9, the 98-99 season one. But no, I don't have any names in my kits. I keep them blank usually, or I get like a number. So this is just a blank. This is the 99 2000 away kit. So yeah, so that's the NANDEZ update. Speaking of the preseason friendlies, as you know, the title of the videos, the Florida Cup has been cancelled. Inter was supposed to play Arsenal, Everton. This Sunday they were supposed to play Arsenal in Florida, and then Everton, I believe, and there was Millonarios, the Colombian Cup as well. So it was a 4-way little friendly summer cup, which obviously Inter were going to be paid a couple of million to participate in. But Arsenal's camp, they had a few COVID cases, so they pulled out quite rightly. Then Inter looked like yesterday, it looked like they were pretty much still going. Like a lot of sources were indicating that Inter were still going because, you know, they were going to try to find a replacement for Arsenal, and the pull-out fee from the tournament maybe was going to be too much or too scary. But now it just makes sense, man. It just makes sense. There's no, in this COVID and pandemic and rising cases in Florida as well, it doesn't make sense to take the risk to go to all the way to Florida just for like 2 friendly matches. It just makes sense. Apparently Lenovo and SOCIOS, the new sponsors, were kind of banking on that to happen because obviously it was going to be good exposure to the US market for those 2 sponsors, but unfortunately it's not going to happen. Hopefully there's no kickback from the organizers of that tournament to Inter, you know, any sort of like, you know, penalty or a fee for that, for not going there, for pulling out. But, you know, I think common sense should prevail in this case. You know, it's just not safe. It's just not safe at the moment to do that. You know, so I think it makes sense. But Inter are looking to replace those friendlies because obviously Inter need some friendlies before, you know, to get juice in the players' legs, but also, you know, to get fans excited to test out some players. Inzaghi wants to test out some new tactics and things. Let me quickly get up the current schedule for Inter's friendlies. Oh yeah, there was another friendly that was scheduled against Atletico Madrid in Israel, which obviously received a lot of controversy as well, but that's been cancelled as well now. So that's another good thing that, you know, they're not going abroad anywhere. Where is the here it is, the tweet from Daniele Mari, who always comes through with the content, with the news. Yeah, so Inter, because of the rising COVID cases, no foreign travels. Atletico Madrid friendly cancelled as well. So for now, the only remaining official friendlies are Parma Inter on the 8th of August in Parma, and then Inter Dynamo Kiev in Monza on the 14th of August. So Inter are trying to at least get a third friendly probably before that in Italy. They had a friendly yesterday in-house against Pro Vercelli, where Inter won 4-0. Çalhanoğlu, that's the proper way to say it. Çalhanoğlu got his first unofficial goal in Inter colours. And Mulattieri got 2 goals. And I forgot who got the other one. But yeah, so they'll probably try to organize a few of those in-house ones, maybe against the youth team or like other small local teams. But yeah, we definitely needed more preseason actions because we want to see these boys, want to see the new Inzaghi tactics, and, you know, see some of these players out there. So yeah, let's keep an eye out for that. Another news that quickly wanted to cover, have a quick look at the comments. How much did Inter get the Alberto? The Alberto was like, I think it was like 20 million plus bonuses, yeah, it was not good. It was quite expensive, especially that was back in the FFP days for Inter. So yeah, Brozovic scored the other one. Yeah, there's no footage of the friendly yet. It's been a day now, so hopefully Inter release something. So it'll be nice to see Mulattieri's 2 goals and Hakan's first goal. So yeah, hope they release some footage. Will NANDEZ be more of a Gary Medel type, more aggression, work rate, less quality? I guess you could say Gary Medel, but I think he's more technical than that. I really do compare him to Barella because he's good at getting up and down. Like Gary Medel was just good at getting just move, like running around and tackling. Like NANDEZ is a lot more complete. You watch him, if you watch some of his videos from Boca Juniors days, Cagliari as well. But yeah, he's definitely slightly more defensive. I think, in my opinion, is more the physical and defensive abilities to me that stand out. But he definitely has that box-to-box ability. So I think Barella is a good comparison, but obviously just at a lower level. That's just my opinion. But I think you guys would like NANDEZ, man. He's just one of those guys that you can't not like, in my opinion. NANDEZ deal official? No, of course it's not official. There's nothing yet. It's just negotiations. There's no. It's going to take a long time. It's just my opinion. This one will get done because, as I said, Inter want him really bad. Inzaghi wants him. He wants Inter really bad, and Cagliari kind of owe us something the other way now. So I feel like it will get done at some point. Whether you like him better in midfield, still hoping for Dumfries or Bellerin at right wing back. Yeah, no, with Bellerin, or Bellerin, if he's alone with the option, and I'm okay with that. As I said, like it all depends on the deal. But with Bellerin, it's going to be, the adaptation to the Serie A, learning Italian. He's not had the greatest seasons at Arsenal since his ACL. So there's a lot of factors against the Bellerin deal. Inzaghi trying to get the best out of him. Dumfries probably a little bit better, but again, PSV won 15 million. I don't think they're going to do a loan with option. It's going to be difficult to hash out a deal with them. But I'm growing to NANDEZ as the right wing back option, because when I think about it, a lot of people, as I keep saying, I wasn't particularly convinced by Dumfries. Everyone was raving about him this past Euros, but I wasn't particularly taken back by him. Musa was not a fan of Bellerin. Yeah, I don't really get the hype. Thoughts on Agume? Yeah, I mean, I wanted to do actually a reaction video to the Lugano game, which obviously finished 2-2. Satriano, clearly the standout player from that match. So hopefully he gets more playing time in this preseason, and he gets sent out on loan to a team where he gets some minutes at least, or maybe even being kept as an option. Who knows? He was definitely standout. Agume is, I like him, but he's just, there's a lethargicness about him. Like, I don't know, it's the way he plays. It just kind of, he's not really, he doesn't, put the, I'm not saying he needs to be, every player needs to have, the grinta and the passion merchant, but he seems very lethargic, kind of. His body language is not great off the ball. When he's on the ball, I really like him. Like, on the ball, very neat and tidy, technical. We saw for the Satriano goal, took the ball past the player, then assisted him. But off the ball, we saw for the goal, Lugano scored off the corner, like poor clearance, and then not really closing down the player properly. Even for the first goal after the Darba mistake, he's just off the ball, and that's the reason why at Spezia he didn't get much playing time, guys. Like, look at his stats from Spezia. There was a period when Ricci was out that he got 7 or 8 games on a regular basis as a starter. But then when Ricci came back, the starter regista in that position, he never came back into the team. And you could say, obviously Italian coaches, they don't give, youth a chance and all this kind of stuff. But Vincenzo Italiano is, he's the new school of Italian coaches. He is kind of a progressive coach who kind of seems to give, youth a chance and things like that. So there must be a reason why in a very average Spezia team he didn't get much playing time. I would like to keep him. I hope he's kept as a Brozovic, as a vice Brozovic, because I think that's the only way he's going to grow, really. If he plays games. But if Inzaghi doesn't trust him, then he needs to go to a team that actually is going to give him minutes, even if that is in France. Because it just seems like we loan out these players like Agume, like Esposito into Italian teams, but they don't get the minutes, and that's what they need at this age. You just need minutes. Even if it is not at a high quality, you have to just get experience. So that's why Esposito now has gone to Switzerland, where hopefully he gets more minutes. And Agume, there's rumors of Saint Etienne being interested. Maybe he just needs to go back to France on a loan, where he'll actually get some playing time in a obviously slightly different league, depending on your opinion, slightly easier league as well. But that's the only way he's going to improve. He needs minutes. He needs to grow. I just don't see that maturity at him with off the ball. Like, he just doesn't. When you look at him off the ball, he doesn't impress me. But he's got time to improve, man. He's got all the time in the world. There's a reason why Bayern Munich are interested in this guy. There's always rumors of Bayern Munich wanting him and trying to negotiate a deal with Inter. So you don't want to let him go. You don't want to do what we did with Coutinho and players like that. Oh man, needed cold water. It's been a very warm week in the UK this past week. We got Lazaro as well, man. This guy, he says he wants to stay at Inter. Obviously, another flop wing back signing of the many over the last decade or so. But once again, it depends. Inzaghi hopefully gives him a chance in preseason so he can decide whether he wants to keep him or not. But I think it's for the best for Lazaro to just leave, even though he wants to stay. But going back to the Lugano match, as I said, Satriano was a standout, but I think the man of the match for me was Di Marco. He was standout in terms of, his on the ball play, his left foot. We know, if you watched him at Verona of the past season, I think as a defender, I think he was, after Luke Shaw, he was one of the defenders that had most chances created in the top 5 leagues this past season. You can see why. Definitely not great defensively. We saw in a couple of moments. He was. I'm not sure about him in that left centre back position where he played in that match. He played that position for Verona a lot last season, but I want to see him in that left wing back position. So hopefully in the next few matches he's tested out in that wing back position more than the left centre back position. Yeah, that's Andrew. It's a good comparison. Kondogbia kind of gave that lethargic, because I guess he's quite that skinny, gangly, leggy kind of running style, where sometimes it looks like he's not putting in 100% effort, but he comes alive when he has the ball at his feet. He comes alive, with his dribbling, with his passing. But when he's off the ball, it just seems like he's kind of jogging at like half the speed he should be. His tackling is not very, snappy. So yeah, it's probably a good comparison. But yeah, Kondogbia took his time as well. He's had a few years at Valencia. Now he's playing for Simeone, and he's a different player. So some players just take some time to develop that side of the game. Yeah, fair play to Kolarov for taking that wage cut, man. There's nothing, we can't beat that guy. Fernandez, as long as he's going to accept to play as wing back, I don't mind. He's the replace for Hakimi. Quite horny to imagine his link up with Barella. Yeah, man, it's like Barella link up on that right hand side. It's going to be 2 passion merchants linking up. Yeah, you guys are going to like NANDEZ, man. Trust me. Yeah, I agree. Satriano, he looks, I know, with Inter youth players, as always, we look at it with the rose-tinted glasses where, every new talent is like the best talent to come out of the Primavera. This is the guy who's going to make the jump into the Primavera. But let's not forget, guys, I don't know if you guys know this, Satriano, we paid 5 million for this guy. So, and this was, it was a year or 2 ago. So already when he was 17, 18, Inter clearly it's quite a big investment for a youth player. So obviously Inter saw something in him. So yeah, let's just hope it doesn't go like the Pinamontis and the Samuele Longos, because these guys, the problem with these guys is like Longo, Ray Manai or Ray Manaj, however you say his name, the Albanian who scored a hat-trick for Barcelona the other day in the friendly. A lot of these guys look good in Marco Livaja, remember him? A lot of these guys look good in youth teams because they develop physically, or they've developed quicker than the other youth players they play against. So they stand out just because physically they just bully those players. Like Zaniolo as well at that age group manages to bully players, and then when they step up to the to the men's league, they struggle, and that's the struggle we've seen with like Esposito, who he's never been physically that big, but with Pinamonti, Samuele Longo, all these guys who are big strikers in the Primavera, but when they take the adult leagues, it's not the same. Stronger players, faster players, more tactically smarter players. It's different levels. But with Satriano, this guy is a big boy. He reminds me of Lautaro a lot in the way he moves, the way he presses, the grinta, that very South American garra, the Uruguayan way. But he's 6'1", 6'2", like he's a big boy, and he's got big legs, his strong body. Against Lugano, the way he was holding off players as well. This guy is like already an adult, like physically, so he's ready for big boy football. So I think give these guys a chance. It doesn't necessarily. I'm not sure if that's the problem. Is if you stay at Inter, is he going to get the minutes? We saw with Pinamonti last year. Conte didn't trust him one bit, and he didn't. How is he going to improve with no minutes? So it depends. If Inzaghi likes him, and Inzaghi's going to give him at least 10, 15 appearances, good minutes, not like trashy 5-10 minutes here and there, then let's keep him. Otherwise, you have to loan him. You have to get these guys minutes. They have to play, as I keep saying, like Agume, Esposito, these guys, they just have to play, even if it is a lower level. But with Satriano, I think I don't want to, look like a fool in a year or so, but this guy looks a little bit more of a real deal compared to the other guys. Like mentally, like he just seems hungrier and ready for adult football, if you know what I mean. He looks like he looks a bit different. But Mulattieri as well. Mulattieri, he different from Pinamonti and Esposito. He went to the Dutch second division and scored 19 goals last year. And he's not been talked about much. I know the Dutch second division obviously is like even worse than Serie B. You could say it's probably like Serie C level. But that's still adult league. It's still more competitive than the Primavera. And it's still, 19 goals is good. And if you saw the little video I posted today on my Twitter, he looks like a good prospect as well. I'm not going to say he should stay and be the vice Lautaro and things like that. But these guys need minutes. But I would keep Mulattieri. I didn't really look at him before the last couple of days. I saw, let me take a look, because I saw yesterday he scored 2 goals. I was like, let me take a look at this guy. And he's an interesting player, so hopefully he's not wasted as well. Yeah, Mattia Destro, he was another one as well. He started off good, to be fair. Destro was smashing it at Siena, and then went to Roma, and then after he went to Milan, he just kind of dropped off, and then last year he bounced back again. But I think all in all, Destro, I think if you tell Pinamonti to have a career like Destro, he'd probably be happy. But we'll see. And we've got Christian Kivu coming in as the new Primavera coach as well. That'll be interesting to see if we're able to develop these to these guys as well. Satriano reminds me of Julio Cruz. Yeah, Julio Cruz. I don't know maybe like height-wise and build-wise, but Julio Cruz was very kind of like the way Satriano presses is very it reminds me of like Lautaro, the way he's like jumping and very brave. Cruz was a little bit more like in and out of the match, kind of a bit more classier, I would say, and like more of a poacher. And obviously I was quite young when I used to watch Julio Cruz, but he reminds me of a bit more of a calmer figure on the pitch rather than Satriano, Lautaro, who these guys are like trying to eat defenders alive, literally. Cruz was more techie. Last news that I want to talk about before we go. There's talk of Scamacca as being, if Pinamonti leaves as well, which was a surprise, but I like that. So Scamacca, I think I like what I saw from him at at Genoa last year. He's owned by Sassuolo, but again, it depends on the whole Nandez Pinamonti he also hinges a lot on Cagliari. But I like Scamacca, drippy, tattooed, player, fiery, technical, big striker. So that's more of the vice Lukaku that I would be looking for. Someone who's similar physique, a proper number 9 who holds up the ball, rather than a Keita Balde. Maybe Keita Balde to me is more of a vice Lautaro / Sanchez type player. And then the final one is Christian Eriksen. As we've known, and I've said to you guys, because I know about the way the Italian FA operates, there's not much hope for Christian Eriksen coming back to Inter as a player. The only way, as the technical scientific committee member today, Francesco Bracconaro, confirmed, Eriksen can only play for Inter if he's deemed medically healthy and removes the ICD implant, which the removal of the ICD implant is going to be quite unlikely. Obviously, again, I don't want to speculate, but I'm just saying in terms of likeliness, I just don't think it's going to happen. In Italy, you don't get clear to play if you have that. So he's going to have to go somewhere else to play. So it's going to be interesting to see what we're going to have to do. But just hope this guy recovers, his health and comes back. At least I want to see this guy back at Inter, meeting his teammates, maybe coming back to the San Siro in the crowd and just, enjoying it as an Interista. Just hope wishing the best for his life and his health. But you never know. Life is always can throw surprises. You never know. This guy could be back in the Inter shirt this season. Bullish Hakan out of his starting spot. Who knows? But I don't see it happening. But we'll see. We'll see. But guys, 45 minutes, 46 minutes. Nice to stream with you guys. Covered most of the main news. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you everyone for interacting, and make sure you guys, before you leave, guys, make sure you leave a thumbs up for the channel. Thank you once again for 2K subscribers. Make sure if you're new, you subscribe. Tell a friend about the channel if they're Interista. Eriksen to coach Inter. You never know, man. You never know. I mean, his Italian's probably not good enough for that to happen. He probably needs to do his Italian coaching lessons. But you never know. That would be nice to see, like Kivu is right now. No worries, Harry. No worries. You can come in whenever you want. You can leave whenever you want, as long as you leave that thumbs up. Thank you everyone for joining, and I'll keep you guys updated for sure for the friendlies, the news coming up, SOCIOS stuff, everything related to Inter. You guys know I got your back, and you guys take care. Ciao ragazzi, forza Inter.